All right. Whatever he just said, man. Welcome to the 239 Spiritual Awakening Podcast, live on a set. As you can see, we not in the normal studio situation like we usually are. We live in effect. We at the Mystic Martian. I hope I got that right?
Absolutely.
Mystic Martian, 3813 Palm Beach Boulevard, right here in Fort Myers. This is episode number 8. So we always start off the podcast by the meaning of the number 8.
Crazy.
And according to the Google, let's go to the Google search. The meaning of number 8 for all you numerologists out there, generally indicating material abundance and a career success. But in the context of angel numbers, it usually means much more than simple material gain. The number 8 itself is a spiritual number, right between 7 and 9. Well, we know it's between 7 and 9. But anyway, so hey, I like the sound of career success, man. Those are always some good words. So speaking of which, we got an entrepreneur in the building. We got it all new. As you see, my normal cast is not even here today. We got 3 complete strangers. Well, this guy ain't a stranger to a lot of people.
He's a little known out
here. So
let's
go. Let's move around the circle a little bit and everybody introduce themselves before we get it in today.
Alright, so I'm G-Man. I work with Flight 98.5. I'm the midday king, 10 to 3. And
there you go.
Yeah, let it be known, you a king, brother. You ain't, you ain't got
already know, man.
Pinnacles. You a king.
But yeah.
What's good with y'all? I'm Michael the Martian, owner of Mystic Martian CBD and Dispensary.
I'm Jocelyn, a Looney Moons belly dance, and co-owner of Mystic Martian, also the Mystic and the Mystic Martian.
She's the mystic.
Hold on, did you just say Palladians and Martians in the same sentence?
Pretty much.
Basically.
I'm a moon child, but
yeah,
you know.
We're a little different out here.
So we gotta dive straight in.
I'm
multi-dimensional.
Also, speaking of which, the number 8 is my life path number.
Oh, really? That's the infinity sign also.
Yes, it is.
There you
So
go.
that's a good number. That's definitely a good number. I'm a life path number 11, so I'm the esoteric guy. So anyway,
11.
So first, I want to dive into you, brother Mike,
yes,
man. Like me and you are like twins, but not twin flames, man.
I know,
like even though we're different
flames.
melanin, like this is crazy how we connected today,
Absolutely,
man. Like
big facts.
tell people about this shop real quick, cause you own this shop. Like, I mean, I never even knew you were here. Like this is not only CBD, right? But what else is going on over here?
Basically, we're a little different. We found different ways that we could put together a business that we can have a little bit of everything. It basically consists of infused drinks that basically is on the cannabinoidal side. We have the hookah lounge aspect of what we do. We have everything as far as like different services from the wellness side that also include everything from chakra meditation, belly dance, which is the expert right here. We also have other people that basically work with our company as well that do everything as far as like
Massage.
Massage therapy, a little bit of Reiki, hair. So, and everything is all tied into the actual cannabinoid aspect. For example, like we'll use different products that'll have like the massage oils. We'll basically give you the experience when you're getting a good massage. You can smoke the hookah, have a good herbal drink and stuff like that, and get basically all these different services right.
Sip on the infused mimosa.
Exactly. I'm
or if you're a dude,
I'm actually on a little
football.
something like that right now. But yeah, so like I said, we do a little different. We also do infused foods and everything. So we just try to give you like that West Coast type of vibe because that's really like the only spot where you will basically see this particular type of setup and everything like that for the most part.
Definitely,
We're definitely trying to do it a little different. We're trying to be like the dispensary for everybody. You know what I mean? So that's what we do. You know what I mean? So
I gotta say, I salute you, bro. I
Appreciate
totally
that.
salute you because I'm in the industry as well, and like a lot of misconceptions. We talk about shallow-minded individuals, like. Let's just keep it 100. This is like a Caucasian-dominated industry, and when I met you, I was just like, man, this brother got a CBD shop in Fort Myers. No one would ever even think that in 1,000 years. Like this city just finally got an African American on the school board after 150 years. So like, you know, to have like you doing what you doing right here on Palm Beach Boulevard, like
I know Palm Beach.
I'm like, man, like he definitely got in where he fit in. I salute you from one healer to another, cause like. I mean, I got my own story. I don't know if we got enough time to tell my story. Well, we might as well.
We on your time with it. We on your time with it.
So, you know, I found out I was a healer in cannabis, cannabinoid, cannabinom, whatever version, whatever story you want to, you know, we can take it to the Bible if you want to. We can go to Exodus 30:23, you know, when God tells us how to make the anointing oil. Part of the anointing oil, he tells us 5 things that we need in the anointing, to make anointing oil. Right. One of those things is the word cannabinom. So when you look at the word cannabinam in the Western translation and you take it back to the Hebrew translation, it's debatable what they talking about. Is that cannabis? To me, I think CBD cures everything, and I'm gonna tell you why I came on my path the way I did. So about 4 or 5 years ago, my father had cancer. He was typical egotistic male, never, tough guy thinking you're gonna live forever type of situation. And one day we finally convinced him to go to Moffitt up in Tampa, found out he had stage 4 cancer. Doctor told him you got a year to live and that's it. I can only imagine like the feeling that goes through one's mind and spirit when someone tells you you got a life and you about to expire. Like that's some tough stuff. So from that second, me and my brother decided to make it our mission how to reverse cancer, how to cure cancer, and try to heal him without dying. So we start searching for natural ways to reverse cancer and to fight against cancer. And one thing we came across on YouTube was Rick Simpson. And I was like, man, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, for those of you who don't know who Rick Simpson is, are you familiar with Rick Simpson?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, Rick Simpson's a healer in Canada who was doing this like 30, 40, 50 years ago. And basically he was doing it for free. He had his whole property. He was just growing hemp oil. He was growing CBD oil, but he just gave it away. Wasn't trying to monetize off it, just straight healer. He would grow it. And after like 6 months, the government came crashing down on him. The police tried to arrest him. They didn't want him teaching people how to heal themselves naturally with the herbs. So he stopped doing it, but he did it long enough where it grew a whole generation like us to find him on YouTube, but now growing, doing what me and you doing it on their own. So like he was my trigger / catalyst / whoever you want to call it, whatever conduit that came into my life. That's like, we got to do something about this. For me, it was cancer. I mean, my father, like 2 weeks before he passed away, after 6 months of treating him with CBD oil, his cancer was completely gone. The doctor said it was gone. Ironically, he still passed away from the legal drugs, which is alcohol. Go figure.
Exactly.
And I was like, so that's just a lesson learned. Hopefully that resonates with somebody. So that's my story and why I said I got to get into the cannabis industry. And then the opportunity opened, and I'm full in just like you. So I salute you from one natural herbal healers to another, man, because it's not many of us in this industry, especially in Florida. I like double salute because Florida,
I can tell you firsthand, man. Like I said, trying to set up a place like this in Florida was not the easiest thing in the world.
I can imagine.
That's why I have to salute Jocelyn too, because like I said, between everything with as far as like the legalities of just like the red tape, just all like the misconceptions, everything like with all the stigmas that go along with it, it's crazy. So like I said, we wanted to do it a little different. We always say at the end of the day, rather than depend on other people, we depend on ourselves to basically get things done. Took a little bit of money, took a little bit of brains, but we was able to do what we had to do. So now we got Mystic Martian. And of course, like I said, it's the first of many. It's the first of many.
Where you come up with the name Mystic Martian, bro?
At the end of the day, like I said, I used to work with Sony a few years back. I kind of branched off from the music production, started my own little thing called Flat Out Production that ultimately turned into a clothing line called Martian Movement.
That's funny, we all connected to the music
industry. And how
industry.
I came up with the whole element of the Martian was basically because of the fact that I always felt like I was doing things that wasn't of this world. Like I didn't want to basically think like everybody else. I didn't want to be like everybody else. So I always felt like I was from Mars. Love Earth, but I'm from Mars. I'm a visitor. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to basically take over and bring new things.
Elon Musk said, like, is that Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
exactly.
he said like a month ago that we're gonna be able to buy houses on Mars for like $100K.
I'm
like, damn, you came out. Yeah, you ready to go?
I'm out.
You ready to catch the flight?
Exactly.
But it's like what, 1,000 degrees on Mars. But then again, I mean, it's
As
like,
long as they have AC, I'm good, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It's almost 1,000 degrees out here in Florida.
I know y'all hit the total recall. I mean, if they can do it, we can do it, man.
Yeah. But you know, like piggyback riding on what you were saying, that basically that it's really hard to open up this kind of story here in Florida. I just feel like the older generation it goes back into like the whole experience of enlightenment and all that stuff that we was talking about even when we was off the air. Is that a lot of people are just they're either misaligned, they were taught things that just are not true.
Right.
So all we have is passed down. Like people say, I don't want to do that. They don't have no questions. They don't want no answers. No, why? Because they told me not to do it. And it's always been like that. So I think that this generation, not only the millennial but the X generation and everything like that, has been able to ask questions, research. The internet has opened up floodgate of answers.
Absolutely.
So now that people are doing research, they're seeing that all these things, you know, marijuana, CBD, psychedelics, all this stuff heals us.
Absolutely.
And
It's
our people
plant
are,
medicine.
and yes, and people are scared because I mean the pharmaceutical company do not want to lose the money that they're making right now.
It's true.
Exactly. That's why
You know,
that's why
you go to the
they fighting
doctors
so
right now.
hard.
Yeah, you go to the doctors. They're giving you a pill to treat the symptom, but they're not treating the root and the cause of it. They just want to lay. Oh, you got a
Absolutely.
headache? Well, here,
Yeah.
take Advil.
Right.
Take
And
ibuprofen. You know, twice a
and all that
day.
does is mask the pain. This actually attacks the pain.
correct.
Big difference.
Correct.
I cut you off. Do your thing.
Correct. So I feel like a lot of that stuff, and people. That's why people gotta really understand. Like, you have to do research to understand that this stuff is really gonna help you out. You know, you got kids that are, you know, that are having seizures. They take some CBD,
I'm so glad you
and,
said
and,
that.
and that
I'm so
thing
glad you
goes
said
away
that.
quick. You know,
Right,
but here we are
absolutely.
taking our kids to the hospital. They're shooting them up with drugs. Then what happens? Happens another seizure. Back to the hospital. I mean, and all that don't costs money. You know, my brother's son has seizures, and you know, hello, you get one time they had to bring a helicopter to tell how much you think that thing is gonna cost.
Thousands
You
of
feel me?
dollars.
So
Right.
a lot of these things it's about money making, man, and
True.
it's an industry of making money, and people got to understand that about everything. Don't say, well, the government says that's not that's illegal and that's not good. Well, why? What do you think? Now all of a sudden vaping is now all of a sudden vaping is oh my
all of
God,
a
people
sudden
are
now
dying of
it's
vaping. What
becoming
up?
an issue.
Vaping was here for a minute, but there's the reason why, because people that are choosing to vape are not buying cigarettes anymore.
And that,
So all these companies are making cigarettes are losing money.
Right.
So what do they say? Listen, go into the news, fake news. That's what I call fake news if there's
Right.
fake news.
Fake
I mean, do I believe that maybe there are some
Inflated news.
like CBD oils that are not
it's
not CBD, but people that are making up these oils to make this money.
Speaking
that's
of
a
fake,
lot of that.
I was gonna say, speaking of fake, that's exactly what the problem is.
Correct.
You got people that are basically trying to mix stuff like fentanyl and everything like
Correct.
that into your vapes to try to save money, and that's not what it really is.
Correct.
That's why,
Arsenic.
that's why literally.
We found arsenic in 90%. Okay, so the 8 people that died, people need to research first of all.
Correct.
Yeah, and exactly.
The 8 people, there's only 8 people that died. I know that sounds horrible, but let's look at how many people died of cigarettes.
A day.
A
I
day.
guarantee you, today more than 8 people died of
A day.
cigarettes.
So we
Facts.
look for healthy alternatives here. So vaping is a healthy alternative if done right.
Correct.
If done in moderation, if done regulated. So the FDA refuses to regulate it. So first of all, because you refuse to turn your back on something, you don't regulate it, and then after the fact, you want to try and act like it's a bad thing. But
Correct.
the things you regulate are actually poison that you're allowing us to put in our
Of
bodies.
course.
So my history is similar to both of everybody in the room, which is so interesting. So I lost both of my parents to cancer. I myself went through a severe chronic illness that they couldn't diagnose. I've been in the medical field since I was 15. I work in the medical field, so I lived I watched the absolute hypocrisy of it all, of the entire system, of everything. I've worked for the hospitals such as Johns Hopkins, all the way to the doctor's offices, and seeing the crooked ones I work for are currently sitting in jail, by the way.
Yeah.
At Pain Management, mind you, so I've had quite my own experience with a disabled child, seeing how much cannabis helped her, seeing how much cannabis helped me. I started healing myself. So what I found is with a plant, what you put in your body as far as your food, you can heal anything, but you also have to be willing to look inside yourself and face your own demons, because ultimately we all create our own illnesses with the shit that we refuse to deal with.
I said no
Language.
cursing.
I was
woman.
just gonna say we about to get in trouble now.
was
You
gonna
decided
say.
that you wanted to cuss.
Inhale
sorry.
the good light, exhale the darkness. There
Yeah.
you go. So
I'm with you, because that's almost exactly what happened to me with my father. It takes one of those tower moments,
Right.
as we say in the tarot card world. It takes a tower. There's always an
It's a
ending for a
tower
new
week.
beginning. Yeah.
It's a tower week
Well,
and a
Mercury
new moon.
retrograde hasn't went
but
into
there's a
effect
new
yet.
moon on Sunday first, so one
Scorpio
step
already.
at a time.
Well, right now we're still in Aries, right?
It's Scorpio season.
Oh, Scorpio's my moon sign.
Look at you, knowing
Yeah.
your natal chart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my rising is Capricorn. I like Capricorns and
I'm a double moon Earth, so watch out with that Taurus. He's a Taurus too, so we're two Tauruses.
I'm
Oh.
a stubborn Taurus.
Interesting,
stubborn
interesting.
Tauruses.
And what I want to make clear to the viewers too, the thing I also love about you, brother, is like you ain't going through third parties for your stuff. Your stuff is
absolutely not.
your own produced product that is not like no.
When
you
I
ain't-
say I
you don't-
healed myself, I
Yeah,
started.
we literally healed our.
That's what I like about what I do. Like I grow my own product, I package, I sell my own product. I got my own patients, everything. You
We
know,
have an
I'm not
entire
buying
line all
outsourcing.
created and used
Yep.
by both of us.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, now there's not one thing that we sell that doesn't go through us first.
that we
so,
don't use.
Absolutely.
We use it all, and it
Absolutely.
works. And that's basically how it all began.
Yeah.
Is I became very sensitive to products. So like chemicals, cleaning, I can't use cleaning products in my house, but I definitely can't use the skincare. A lot of people don't know this, but battery acid.
Ugh. That's like soda. That's what when we drink soda is battery acid.
So it's in a lot of your skincare.
But I'm addicted
and
to it,
makeup.
man. That's my one vice is soda.
Like
'cause-
antifreeze is in a lot of our makeup. It's a byproduct. Like
I don't
we have
gotta worry about that,
arsenic.
right.
Arsenic is in and your skin is the biggest organ in your body. So whatever you're putting on your skin, and I started developing all these skin sensitivities. I never had these allergies. I never had all these issues before.
Yeah.
But then I was in a situation where I was unhappy. I was working full time. I was in an unhappy marriage, and
We all been well. I
You know.
don't speak for
I ain't been
everybody. I've
married,
been there
man.
twice.
We know we all been unhappy.
And
Yeah.
I had kids, and
I mean,
I
that's
had,
normal
you know,
now.
I had
Exactly.
life. It was life. I was working full time. I had a disabled child. You know, I had a lot going on. So I was eating as quick and easy as I could to keep up with the kids' schedule, to keep up with my schedule, just basically out of the freezer into the microwave.
Yeah.
So there's no nutrients going in my body. So basically, we all have a normal microbiome in our gut, and if it gets out of whack, you can have a number of illnesses. So
Facts.
if we
Cancer,
all
I mean-
start that, and it all starts with cancer. My actual illness, they still haven't really diagnosed, but the only way to heal it was with a diet, which is the anti-cancer diet, believe it or not. So I have a fungal infection basically that functions like cancer. So when I saw,
Wow.
I lost both my parents, both of them, before they were even in their 65.
Yeah, my
dad
pops
a
is
brain
young.
cancer, my mom a pancreatic cancer. They were
Yeah.
heavy smokers too. Like I don't get it. Why didn't they have lung cancer? But you know, it's interesting how you
Yeah.
manifest it. It's however you manifest whatever you've gone through in life. So you
Facts.
learn how to. So I started to realize, okay, you don't have a choice. Like if I eat this, I'm gonna be sick. You don't have a choice. You change your diet.
Yeah, one little stat before you jump in. Another thing that kind of triggered me on my journey with my pops situation is like I did some research and like in the year 1900 in the United States, only 5% of Americans had cancer. In 2000, 40% have cancer.
our food.
And
So,
2
yeah,
out of
it's
3 of them
everything that
people
goes
are
into
gonna
the
die
food.
within 2
All-
years.
all the
It's glyphosate.
preservatives,
So that
all
was
the-
I was like,
exactly.
yo,
It's what they're
we gotta
spraying our
start paying
food with.
attention for real, for
Exactly.
real. It's like
Exactly.
when almost half of humanity is gonna die from one disease, and we
But they
know
want
about
us
it, and
to
we ain't doing
because
nothing about
we're
it.
pumping money into their system. They want us to.
Yeah, big pharma. So that goes right into the whole legal versus
Exactly.
illegal. We in the
Exactly.
CBD shop.
Exactly.
So I can't believe we going into 2020 and there's still like 30% of Floridians that like are against legalizing marijuana.
Because they're taught it's
who are these
wrong.
people?
Yeah, again, when we talk about it, it's
Such a-
not that they're wrong.
exactly.
That's
Who
what
are
they
these
believe.
people? We gotta
Exactly.
find them.
Those are the
Yeah.
ones we need to talk
We
to.
just have to start spreading
Can
the
we
truth.
find someone here who's against legalizing
I
marijuana?
guarantee they try any of our products
The
and stuff
people
like that.
making
Try to
money
tax
right
it. I
now.
guarantee they have a whole different approach on that, a whole different outlook. Like I said, I've converted. I don't want to use the word converted, but I've converted so many different people and stuff like that that were using all different types of like harsh medicines, things over the counter, pharmaceutical medicine, stuff like that. Whether it's older demographics, conservatives, it doesn't matter. Once I actually convinced them to like, before you basically try to sit up here and try to say this negative aspect of what this is, try it first. You know what I mean? Because you're programmed to basically say
Programmed.
this is wrong.
Yeah, and
They-
but
you know
the
what I mean?
thing
Without
is,
even knowing what it is.
what they gotta understand too, just because you do CBD, that doesn't mean you're doing drugs. Because that's
Yes.
that
I'm so sick
that
of
is the
hearing
word.
that gateway,
Yeah.
gateway drug,
Yeah,
bro.
Exactly.
Listen, if that was a gateway drug,
Alcohol
I'd be
is
a
the
bum
gateway
right now.
drug.
All right, look.
Alcohol is the gateway.
Oh, for
drug.
sure.
Oh, how old were you when you smoked for the first time?
Me, I was actually like, what was I? 16 when I first started.
How old were you?
She's a little younger.
12.
12?
Oh, dang.
I'm
You can
from
see
Baltimore.
you can see who's the most experienced. I'm from Cleveland. Trust me, we
I'm
definitely
from
got loud out
Baltimore.
there too.
It's
but
difficult. It's
but
tough.
yeah,
in Baltimore.
she's a little
up in the
different.
city. Well,
She a little
yeah,
different.
More Cleveland. I grew up
I'm,
in Chicago.
yeah,
so
I'm definitely Cleveland. So
Yeah.
all
I
day.
think I was about 16 also. Well,
I was 17.
17. So we're all around the same age. So
Mhm.
now, man, I lost my train of thought. I don't know why I'm talking about smoking weed. I don't smoke now, and I want to get this. Is what I want to get to. It's like
Yeah.
Because
There's
a
other things you can
lot when we
try,
get
too.
into spirituality, people just already who program. They think that we just like some modern day hippies, and this
Can
is
I
just
tell you
all.
about
let's
how
do-
I know it was medicine at 12?
Go ahead.
All right, so at 12, I didn't realize, looking back, I was self-medicating at 12 for anxiety. So think about it.
Subconsciously, you didn't know,
Yes.
but consciously, you know. Okay,
I was dealing
so-
with the trauma that I couldn't talk about. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even know that till I was 30 and started meditating and tapped into all of your hidden memories. So medicating at 12. So that's why it's a good question that you asked, when did you start smoking? Because most likely it was when you had something happen in your life that you were trying
That's
to get
actually
over.
true. That's very true.
Now, one thing I want to say this, just me personally, I don't mind smoking, but I'm a CBD guy. I just think
Then
the
you,
oil.
you come to the
you
right
know,
place.
sure.
That's
I'm
why
not-
the CBD
Yeah.
king. That's what
Now,
we do.
I'm
Nothing in the
saying, like, if
The
you're gonna,
absolute best.
if
Nothing
you gonna
in the
smoke a
love.
joint, a couple puffs to let down the mask and let down your inhibitions, cool. But like, just so you hear me, I'm not a proponent of just smoking all day every day. I don't think that's.
I'm not
the-
even that person.
like,
to be perfectly honest
yeah.
with you. So
Well, I think that, I mean, that was when you were young.
Right,
and,
exactly.
You know, you're like, oh, you know, let's get exclusive and
Exactly.
go, you know, get high.
Exactly.
But I think when you're older, you kind of understand the whole concept, because even when I did it at 17 years old, I didn't know, like, yeah, I was smoking, I was getting high, and I was getting petrified. I mean, you know, you get petrified, but
That means he had that
being
good
older and
weed.
understanding, understanding that when people are feeling petrified, what's really going on is you're more aware than what you're usually aware, and that scares you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you're scared, but the fear is because you're so aware of everything that you
an
feel like
awakening.
all eyes are on you, because you're more aware, which is what it does. It opens you up to really think a lot, you know,
It
different.
opens your third
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah,
For sure,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what people were like, you know, back in the day, I didn't know what third eye was. I was
It's,
just like,
it's
yo, I'm
medicating.
scared.
It really is medicating when done right. So for me, I am trying really hard to get away from putting anything in my lungs, to be honest with you. I started smoking at 12, right? So I'm
I
trying
don't
to
smoke
heal.
right now.
Like, no
Every now and
smoking.
then.
So
I was waiting for that. I was waiting
On a
for
full
that.
moon, you know,
That's what
somebody
they
got
are,
a J
man.
right now, I hit it, but like I'm not going out of my way to get it.
well, with the oils, you can dose yourself.
we always try
so
to
you
find
can
different
get things
alternatives.
like inflammation. You got it. And the other thing too is a lot of people don't realize you have a cannabinoid system in your
It's
body.
already in your body.
It's part of your makeup system. Look at it like a set of nerves. That's what it functions as. It actually controls your inflammation system. So that's why it works so well, but you have to keep it in your body. So truthfully, we should be eating it. It's a vegetable.
Right, that's what I did. I put it on
Hemp
candy
works
bar for my
as
Which is
pocket.
exactly why
lumbar.
we
We
do
can
the
build houses
infused
with hemp.
Mystic Marshall, you get the
Just
plug out.
saying.
Mystic
Get that little
Marshall.
plug in.
3813 Palm Beach Boulevard. You got the
Appreciate you.
perfect location, bro. I mean, I really pray that this blows up for you, man, because like
I
you're
appreciate that.
doing the right thing for
Appreciate
sure. And it, like I said, it's very few of us in this industry, in the legal industry at least. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's a lot of us in
that's
the
why we call
illegal
ourselves
side
the
of it.
dispensary for
Yeah.
the people.
Right.
We a little different, but we
That's
try to get
important.
y'all right.
We need to encourage the other brothers who are watching
Absolutely.
this, like you can do this legally and not have
Stop
to worry
getting
about
your
going to
CBD
jail.
from the gas station. Please.
Oh, please.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Again,
That
Come,
it
come
goes
see me,
back.
man.
Yeah,
I'll
because
take care of
that's
y'all.
the
Y'all
thing.
don't need,
That's the thing.
y'all don't need to
You
get that from the
don't get
gas
it from the
station.
gas
Trust me.
station.
You're
It's
risking
medicine.
yourself. Yes,
It's
you're
medicine.
risking yourself, and that's what it comes
Absolutely.
down to. All these
All our things
that
are
are going on.
organic. It's all
Right.
about no
Third party
chemicals.
testing, everything's inspected. That's what we do. Like
So I gotta ask us. We started when we was young. Now, was it a gateway drug for anybody else? Because
No.
for me, I never tried anything else. I think I popped
don't-
half a Molly one
I
time.
was-
It wasn't a gateway drug for me. I don't.
Hey,
do
it wasn't a
drugs
gateway
now,
drug
you know.
for me.
I'll do CBD all day
Yeah.
and let's go.
I'm
but,
all day,
you
every
know,
day on
I never
CBD.
like wanted to
Yeah.
snort a line or like do
Never.
some
I've never
heroin
done
or
it
Never
something.
did
either
that.
personally, but like
See,
I
well,
said,
that's
but that's
chemicals
me.
though. Ain't nobody can tell me that coke is, it grows. No, that's chemicals. That
It
is
is
made.
chemicals.
That is
It's,
chemical.
it come from a plant, but it's chemically created.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta
like-
pour, you
it's
gotta
just
pour
like the
chemicals and do all that other
Huh?
stuff.
It's just like
Like
the
the
pharmaceutical.
Correct.
And if you
yes.
think about it, most of the drugs are made from pharmaceuticals.
Exactly.
So
Opioids are manufactured to get people addicted. That's their sole purpose. So
Oh, for
it is
sure.
the same. And so where I come from is Baltimore. So a lot of people don't know that's a real heavy city for heroin. It's a gateway drug. So opioids are the same. So you got people, literally old people, that are being prescribed here in Florida opioids for very minor aches and pains, and then their nieces, nephews, grandkids
Are taking. I mean, well, actually, right
selling them
now,
on the street because
they're making
similar
money
to
off of that,
heroin.
and people are using
Right.
more, pills and than drugs.
Snorting them, shooting them, all
Yeah,
of it.
all that
And
stuff.
so, like where I come from, that led to heroin. So pills legal pills were a gateway drug where I come from.
Exactly.
Xanax and all that stuff. Get that.
I come
I've never
from
tried
Baltimore
that.
where a third of my graduating class is dead. Like, I'm not even gonna
Look,
lie.
I'll go.
Nice.
I've been at the hospital, and they were like, they do a procedure. Here's some Vicodin. Nope. I'm good. I'll take it because I don't know
I
how I'm gonna
refuse
feel
to.
after I get to the
Right.
house. But I don't.
Right.
I try not to take it. I just flush it down the toilet if I don't need
take
it.
them either.
Right.
I'll take
Yeah.
some ibuprofen. and I'm
Yeah.
good.
When I went through a similar situation, when I found out I was pre-diabetic, my doctor tried to prescribe me metformin pills. He's like, just pop 2 of these. I took them for like
That
a
makes it
week,
sound so simple,
and I'm
too,
like,
right?
dude, all I need to do is change my eating. Like, I changed my eating. I didn't go vegan. I just went more with a plant-based,
Raw
fruit.
food.
But yeah, just eating kale, drinking smoothies, fresh
Clean
fruit,
foods, you all
and like
everything right.
in 2 months, I went back and like my sugar dropped from like the average listener don't know what this means, but let's just say like in 2 months by changing my diet, like I lost 20 pounds and my sugar level was back to normal just by changing my diet and just by going outside like 30
I have
days,
a
30
friend-
minutes a day and walking.
I have a friend who is diabetic on an insulin pump. She went and saw a naturopath.
Pump.
Insulin pump. Naturopath with these Chinese herbs and changed her diet. Found out that her insulin spiked with animal fats. So she changed her diet, started taking these Chinese herbs. She got rid of her pump. She doesn't have a pump.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of another diabetic doing that? I haven't.
I had to go that extreme. I caught it early.
My
I
uncle
mean.
passed away from diabetes, so
That's another thing. We
that's close to my
talk
heart.
about
Right,
cancer,
right.
diabetes,
Absolutely.
all of this
They're all
stuff is
close to
killing
my
us
heart.
if
It's true.
we don't change our life.
Right.
That's
It's
the
true.
common
Right.
thing.
Right.
So we're a
Natural
wellness
healing.
center.
That's
And right, that's gonna
that's
say
the
too, and
purpose
that's
of this
literally
part.
what
That's
we
what we gonna
basically
call
call
it.
it. Exactly.
Natural herbal healing.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's
Grow it
There you
yourself.
go.
definite outlandish thinking from what we're programmed to believe, so that's why we're a wellness center. So it's not just
Yeah.
about the CBD. We want to educate people. We want people to understand there's alternatives, always healthy alternatives, but we also like to have fun.
Oh yeah, we definitely have fun here too. Like we have our evenings and we do
have our
our
hookah
events.
nights.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
But
y'all
it's
definitely gotta
tobacco
come check
free
this place
too,
out.
so
It's
keep
good.
it in
So
mind. Everything's healthy.
exactly. We try to basically put you in a position you can have fun, go to a place you can relax. It's not exactly on the club vibe and everything like that, but you can just lay back, listen to music,
Friday
listen to, you know what I'm
nights.
saying?
It's right in the
Friday,
neighborhood
Saturday
too.
nights.
Like
Get
it's right on
faded
point.
Fridays.
Absolutely. Like even like tonight, for example, like we got artists that's gonna be performing and everything like that. Like
Yeah.
I said, that's what we
This
do.
is the
Like,
1 year anniversary. I almost forgot EX3 Network. I know Ice is gonna be mad at me, man. 1 year anniversary.
You got it in there though. You got it in
You
there.
just-
Nick
you just
time.
triggered me,
Nick
brother.
time.
You
That's
just
what I'm
triggered
doing.
me,
That's what I'm
man.
saying. This happens for a
Working
reason,
together.
bro.
Yeah, we're
We
together.
we healers, man. We healers. So tell me, like Florida, because my stuff is up north. I'm not going. I already mentioned the states where I do my healing work at. But anyway, Florida is different. Where I'm at, up
Florida's
north, it's a
different.
total different ball game when it comes to legalities of recreational marijuana. Now
Absolutely.
in Florida, it's still medical. It's
still
not
me-
even
it's-
rec right now,
It's
right?
still medical at this point. Like I said, there's different ways that you can basically distribute amongst like different dispensaries. Like there's different levels of dispensaries. Like I said, we have certain legalities that we can basically do and we can't do compared to let's say like a Curaleaf. Like not to get anybody any club or anything like that. But like I said,
Yeah, I don't
that's-
like those guys.
Exactly.
Right.
Like I said, we try to keep
Straight up.
everything at an absolute affordable cost because remember, everything comes directly from us and our labs and everything like that we're doing and stuff too. That's why I invested in that for a very specific reason. I was once one of those type of people that couldn't afford trying to get like all these different types of like what do they say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give you these opportunities to basically get like all these different strands and stuff like that. But they're talking about like $200. Their prices are like crazy.
So you can't medicate. You
absolutely.
can't afford all of the doctor's bills you have to pay because I have my medical marijuana license.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of money you have to spend and then keep up with the products, the amount of money to just dose myself regularly with my medication daily for a month, the average cost is it's like half a paycheck.
Absolutely. So
Now that's
Who can afford that?
All right, and that's where we come. That's where
That's
companies.
crazy.
Let me say this. That's like where companies like ours come along to a point where we can try to put people in a position where you can get educated on exactly what you're going to be consuming. I always basically try to get people a peek behind the curtain and stuff like that. Exactly from our third-party testing, where we basically set up our labs, like you know what I'm saying, just like literally like the different alternatives to what going to be the benefits, opposed to like let's say going this route and everything. So we try to give everybody a little something. That's why everybody calls us like the dispensary / hookah lounge for the people. Like we're that kind of wellness
definitely
center.
because
So-
all the rest of them they don't have stuff like this. where you
Exactly.
can
It's
come
all
chill.
about
They
they all about
just
they
want
all
to
about
sell
the
and
money.
make money.
Exactly.
Sell and make
Exactly.
money.
It's
It's a
all
business.
about the
Yeah.
money. So I mean, like
No
I said,
connection, just
Absolutely.
money, other than the
Absolutely.
energy exchange of money. That's
Absolutely.
it. That's
We in
as
this
far
to
as it
help
goes.
people. Like we are genuinely here to help people and everything. Like I said, I was in the fitness industry a long time ago. I was a certified personal trainer, did the fire science science thing for a little while. Got in the entertainment business. Again, when it's to a point when I start basically actually having to do what I can to help particular relatives that are basically looking for alternatives and stuff like that, I was like, I mean, let me do a little research and stuff. Then of course I met Jocelyn and amongst other people and stuff that kind of educated me on just like all like the different types of like natural healing methods and stuff. So like it just all came together and it just all made sense. All the work I was
You
basically
met her
putting in.
first before you find out your purpose.
He made my dreams come true.
So
Man.
so it was
You're
crazy.
lucky man, brother.
It
You're
was
lucky
crazy.
man.
I appreciate that. It was crazy because, like I said, because I've dabbled into this industry, but I didn't fully basically take that leap of faith, honestly, until I met Jocelyn. Like I said, this is why she's like my best friend. She's my business partner. Like she's everything that basically make this thing go. You know what I mean? So this is what we do. So she opened me up to a whole bunch of different things. She's opened so many people up to so many different things. Like I said, that's why she does her belly dance, her chakra meditation. She's even basically had my mom basically down here and stuff like that. And
She
doesn't
did belly dance with
she
me,
doesn't
and
even
she's
believe
one of
in
my-
none
oh,
of that
she
stuff.
caught
you know
on
what I
like
mean?
that, too.
Exactly.
She's
So
good.
it's just one of those
Mama's
type of
good.
situations where it just all came together. Like I said, I've never heard anybody say, you know what I'm saying, like, oh man, this place isn't gonna work, this isn't gonna do this. So it's
Yeah,
right.
you're definitely
you know what I'm saying? So-
against all odds. You know,
yeah,
you're going up
we-
against the big boys.
It's
you
always
know.
a hater, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all good. But
They
That's
keep
what I'm
trying,
like, man. People,
They try.
It's
people
all
don't
love,
understand.
and you
I
just
understand because
gotta
what I
keep it
do, and
up.
people don't understand what you're doing, man. This is big. Cause
Right,
like,
it's not for
the other
everybody.
people you
It's not for
mentioned, I don't
everybody.
like
He
them.
says that every day. He's like, he tells me every day he wonders how I would handle some things that go down on here.
it's yeah. I got my clients.
We want to reality.
I love my
show.
clients though. Big shout out to my clients.
Your
though,
patience,
yo,
man, your
yeah,
patience.
You got a little.
My brother
you got a
reminds
little
me of
sneak
that.
peek.
Yeah,
on
my
what I
brother
got
tells
to
me
deal
that.
with.
He's like, stop saying that, man. Caregiver and patience, man. You got to stop coming from the street slang,
But
man. You got
this is what
get
we
the
here
real
for.
like
This is what
doctor
we here
slang
for.
now.
This is what we here for.
That's good. I love it, man. I got
Appreciate
you
it.
know.
Appreciate it.
Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, we got a few minutes left. What y'all want to go into psychedelics or just talk spirituality,
Oh, we
awakening?
can talk all day.
We're gonna take them down the rabbit hole.
I'll go down the rabbit hole.
Well, I don't have much to say about psychedelics.
We can take y'all down Alice in
Okay,
Wonderland.
so we'll
go ahead and
close on
speak
the
your mind.
psychedelics. First of all, who I haven't, so I'm out of this convo. Who I mean, have y'all tried? You
Oh.
tried? I think
It's
she the only
I'm
one.
the
Okay,
only
so
one.
you tried DMT?
I haven't tried DMT. I've tried other things as far as like different types of psychedelics and stuff like that. There
you tried
Shout out to
DMT?
my man
There
over
you
here.
go.
Yes,
But yeah, but
I
she's more
self-medicate,
the
I self-shaman.
she's more the professional.
It's
Okay,
fun.
so
It's
me and G,
self-shaman.
we haven't experienced it, but we're interested.
Well, I've researched. I've researched
Hit us
enough.
up. We'll take care of it.
I've
We'll get
researched
y'all
enough
right.
of it. You know what I'm saying,
Right.
to understand what it does. And
It's important to
or, you know,
understand
where
that
you
it's
at,
not
so-
just a drug to do. It's
No,
very
correct.
much an experience. It's
Correct.
it's a healing process.
Correct.
So there's
Correct.
a lot that goes into it because you have to have someone who's trusted, who you know enough to let go and experience it. It's definitely an unfolding and unlearning. You die. And
Literally, like, she feel
you
like
go
you
into the
died.
light. Yeah, you
Yeah.
die. You
Yeah.
go into the light and everything. Like if you break through, it's very healing because it wakes you up. It makes you. I came out of that going, problems aren't real. We create them because we're bored.
Correct.
We don't use, but
Right.
10%
That just
of our
had to hit me,
brain.
man.
Right, and keep in mind, too, now,
Charles?
granted, hold on, let me cut you off, because now
we're bored,
imagine,
wow.
'cause now imagine from my point of view when she's trying to break that down to me, I'm thinking about how the hell you wake up dead, you know what I mean? So, but she gives a good breakdown of exactly like where
I
you
was
go
only
with that,
under
right?
for 5 minutes.
You know,
Yeah, I
I mean,
heard
that's
it
not
on
that,
that.
It
that's
was
that's
lifetimes.
that's
It was
exactly what it lasts.
lifetimes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what it lasts. I mean, I read a
Lifetimes.
book by Dr. Strassman, and when the government was actually funding him to study DMT, and the experiences are crazy. There's
It's
actually
true.
a movie out there,
Mhm.
and the people are talking about their experiences.
I
and
have so many friends
said a
that
lot
have
of
been treated.
yeah, a lot of crazy experiences, which are but they make sense. They basically say when you're on DMT trip, it feels more real
Than when you're awake.
When you're awake.
So I will just give you a peep into my crazy little world. So I consider myself an astral traveler. So when I go to sleep at night, I'm not here. So
Oh, I think we all
I don't even know what that
travel.
means.
Well, those of us who are spiritually awakened, I mean,
So
we
when
can
I wake
astral
up,
project
it took
too.
me a long time to figure that out. So I would wake up angry for my whole life. Like ever since I was little, my mom would be like mad at me because I woke up angry, and it took me a long time to figure it out. So recently, I'm mad because I'm here. Like I didn't want to come back. Like obviously, I was happy where I was. I was fixing other problems because here is such a low vibe for me. I know
All
it
of
sounds
us.
crazy.
We'll be
but-
talking about having to dumb down our
Yes.
conversations.
Yeah, see, so
But we
it's
have to.
different.
We
it's
have to.
different. So when you tap into plant medicine, it takes you on a different dimension, and a lot of people have no idea what I'm talking about. But you've got 3D, 5D, all the way up to 11D. You have 11 chakras, 12 chakras. They're all connected for a reason. A lot of people don't realize your chakras connect to a dimension. So there's a lot of third dimension.
The colors also
view.
represent.
The
Some people
colors
believe the
are-
planet that we come from.
I believe in
Depending on how
color
deep you wanna go.
therapy. I have you meditate on colors when we do chakra meditation for a reason, because the colors are healing. They all have meaning as well.
Of course.
They're all connected. But my whole thing with the plant medicine is the fact that you can treat cannabinoids, psychedelics with mushrooms, DMT, if you take them in their purest form. The thing that people need to realize is by outlawing these things, they've made us have to consume them in different ways that are actually more unhealthy. If they would make them legal, we could consume them in a healthy manner and all get the medicine we need. So let us consume them and become more aware, but they can't because then we're not controllable. So they want us to be blind sheep consumers.
Of course.
Which
So-
is exactly what we're not.
So my question is, when is marijuana going to be legal federally in the United States? When do y'all think? How many more years we got?
I think they have to set in a system to tax everyone and to regulate them, and then it'll be legal. Once
How
they
many
have
years?
that in
Predict
place,
how many
I,
years?
I,
2
I
years?
predict 2 to 3 years.
because they
2 to
know
3
they're
years.
missing
What?
out. Listen, they're greedy.
I don't know if Trump can
They're
move that
greedy.
fast now.
They're
2 years?
They're greedy.
So you think after this
It's-
next
they see
election?
how much money there is.
Exactly.
They're greedy.
They're
They're
looking.
seeing how much
They're
money's
looking at the
being made and
financial
they're
aspect.
Well,
missing
Trump's
out.
talking about it.
He
He
is.
said he'll
He
go,
is.
but you know that's just a political play.
2
Because he
You know,
knows
to
he
get them
knows
young
he has to
votes.
tap, he knows he has to tap into that demographic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Whether he'll
So-
do it or not will be
Exactly.
unseen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we got all these hippies. They all smoked. I wish they would just get on board.
They are.
The baby boomers are all, you know.
I think it's our
grandparents.
generation that needs to get on board. I don't think
Our
it's the
generation
hippies.
No,
is
I
on
don't think.
board.
I don't think that's our. Yeah, I don't think it's our generation.
Our generation is
fine.
the
It's
ones
generation-
full of indigo
Yeah, it's-
children and enlightened people and light workers
Yeah, it's
that
the
are
baby
all
boomers, bro.
coming together
Yeah.
and aware and
Yeah.
everybody. It's
So
the
you
baby
saying that they
boomers.
don't go out and vote?
They were taught to listen to
No, no,
everything
No,
the doctor
not for
told
the
them.
most part. Actually, no. I think
No,
I think it wasn't until the
Unless they
Obama
mail in.
administration until like we actually got the, you know, what I'm saying, the actual like a large percentage of that particular demographic. So,
Unless they mail in. A lot of people in this area are also transplants.
right, this is true.
See, I feel like our generation.
Transplants. That's another podcast.
I think our generation
Yeah,
wants
we
to
could
change
we could
things,
definitely
you know?
go down that one.
Yeah,
too,
that's
so,
another podcast. We'll have
Yeah.
a whole
time
other
on this one.
conversation right
But
there.
I feel our generation wants to change things. You know that's what we do the research and we change things, and that's the
Yes.
reason why I feel like we want to vote because we want change.
We just can't
We're
be quiet
advocates of
anymore.
change.
We're
Exactly.
sick of being quiet. We're
Correct.
sick of sitting back and taking it quietly. I feel like we're not.
Absolutely.
We're
And
not
having somebody
bending
tell me
over
how it's
anymore.
done, and he's
Yep.
75 years old. The hell you know, bro?
Right.
I don't care. You 75. You're different.
But what works for one person is different for the other too. We don't have to judge them all. Just everybody should be allowed to have their own way.
Absolutely.
That's it.
The war zone, man.
Thanks for
Big
having
Pharma.
us. Thanks for coming.
Oh, there'll be a part 2 to this, I'm
We
sure.
all for the freedom
Can't wait for
fighters.
many more
Playing.
conversations.
Oh, we done connected now.
Yes.
Icy was the conduit. It's on and popping now. I mean, me and this brother connected a while ago, but it's been a while, so like it's no coincidence. It all happened
Right.
on the 1-year anniversary of the EX3
Absolutely.
Network anniversary. So
Absolutely.
on that note, in closing, I mean, go ahead and promote the shop one last time, or whatever y'all final thoughts are.
Well, like I said, y'all got a pretty good idea what we all about here. We over at 3813 Palm Beach Boulevard. This is literally the second location, but it's going to be literally the
The
second. of
Vortex,
many.
man.
The
I'm
there we
gonna call
go.
this the Vortex from Fort Myers, man. Forget every other place you thinking about going to. This is the only place
Just
you
hit
need to
us
come
up.
to.
We'll take
I'll
care
let my
of you.
man Mike
We'll
for sure.
take care of you.
Get
so.
those drinks.
Absolutely. Like I said,
Drinks
we got some
too?
Of the, we got some of the best drinks in Cleveland, in Florida.
Fort Myers.
As he took me back to Cleveland with that whole move. But yeah, so like I said, so we got the drinks, we got the food on deck, we got everything.
Food
we need.
too?
Got
Yes.
infused food
So-
because like I said, because
Infused
not everybody
food?
smokes. Not everybody smokes.
Hold on,
So-
explain to me what infused food is.
We
I'm
got
lost.
pizza. We got steak kebabs. We got
All that's
popcorn.
infused, bro.
Absolutely, we
Simple,
do like
isn't
the diff. We basically we have our own little basic
Brownies,
recipes and stuff like that.
gummies.
Well,
with
I
the
do
different oils
that,
and stuff.
oils.
but like I do brownies and gummies, but you
That-
take it
I don't
to
know if they
like,
hit. I don't know if they hit like
Inf-
ours though, but
infused
we'll
pizza?
see though. We
Infused
remain
We
to
got
be seen.
chuletas,
We do
boy.
pizza.
Infused chuletas and
And keep in
tostones.
mind, it's a
Absolutely.
healthy
Give me my
pizza.
Latino brother.
Exactly. We trying to basically have fun, get you right, but you also try to make it for your health too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's how we do.
I'm
That's how we
with you.
do.
I salute you, man. We'll be back. Our time's up, unfortunately. Hopefully y'all learned something. Y'all was informed, educated, empowered. What we talking about, which was cannabis, CBD, the whole situation right now in this country. So I don't want to tell people to go out and vote
Get
because that ain't my
lifted.
thing.
Get
Get lifted.
Get lifted,
Forget
my body
Come
and-
vote,
come
just
visit
get
the
Yeah.
Martians and come get lifted.
At the Mystic Martian with the rest of us Martians.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's. On that note, let's just go and head back to Mars right now.
There you
I'm an
go.
Aries. That's my
There you
planet
go.
that rules me anyway. So I'm out. Till next time, we'll be back. Stay tuned for the next podcast, which will be episode number 9. Till then, y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself. Eat right.
Absolutely.
Get much CBD oil in your
Get
life.
lifted.
Come get it at the best prices in town.
At the Mystic Martian, 3813 Palm Beach Boulevard. And we gone.